Well, also the stone people,
Okay.
also the stone guys are like shitty.
Wait.
Uh,
I don't know if I know Stone IPA off the top of my head. I'm trying to think what it
it's like
is.
it's like the OG craft
Oh, that one.
IPA.
Yeah, and they've
Uh,
got like arrogant bastard, and
Oh,
yeah,
and
never liked
yeah.
that beer.
Chocolatl is a classic. That's a classic one.
Okay. I've certainly
Uh,
drank it. I guess I had no affinity, or I don't hate it and don't have an affinity toward it either. I'm just kind of like, that is an IPA.
One time they sued Keystone Light for trademark infringement
What?
because Stone.
Stone?
And
Oh,
yeah,
that sucks,
yeah.
dude.
It's just stupid. It's like a waste of money.
Yeah, they have way more expensive lawyers than you do.
It sucks
They
to
might-
be into craft beer because like every like person who makes craft beer is so annoying.
Yes.
It's just such an annoying industry.
The only person that I trusted and still trust is his name is Alex Kidd under the handle Don't Drink Beers, and he drinks a lot less, if anything, lately because he got cancer. So
That'll
now
do it. Yeah.
but now he does
Yeah.
like
That was a left
non-alcoholic.
turn in your story there, Jake.
Yeah. Well. So he does like non-alcoholic reviews now and stuff like that, which
Okay,
is
sure.
cool. But he started this thing called Barley Wine is Life,
I do love the barley wine.
and it kind of blew up. And he does these really long rambling reviews on Don't Drink Beer, and he has the Barley Wine is Life thing, and then he also has a podcast called Malt Couture, which
there you go.
which I like. Which it's him and a couple other guys that he used to do improv with, and they have all these insane characters. It's just a fun time.
Okay, wait. So Stone sucks. Is Lagunitas good? Are they
also bad?
Oh, damn it! I like
Well,
Lagunitas.
didn't they get bought out? They got bought out by. I'm gonna fuck up the name of who they got bought out by, but there's only like two or three major. I can't remember if it was Miller Coors or if it was Anheuser-Busch.
Oh, it's one of the big ones though.
Yeah.
Okay.
They got bought out. And now
What's the name of that one from San Diego that named all of their beers after fish, like Sculpin and Rockfish and whatever? I can't remember what that one was. They were like really big for a while, and I can't remember what the name of the brewery even was, because they leaned real hard into putting fruit flavors in all of their beer.
Nice.
Right, as they were doing it like sours were having a moment, and then suddenly there was this brewery from San Diego that was like, yes, but what if I made it taste like Hawaiian Punch?
It's instead? Like a fruited thing.
And everyone was like, oh, I love that. And I was like, God damn it. I was so excited for sours.
Which again is just copying the Germans, because your classic sour Berliner Weisse was commonly sweetened with some sort of fruit syrup back in the day.
That way. They're very good that way.
They're very good that way. Except that what people started doing is they started making really shitty Berliner Weisses and then just filling them with fruit puree. To cover up the shittiness of their Berliner Weisse.
Yeah. I'm not saying there's a certain brewery in Iowa that does this to deal with bad IPAs they have. And I wouldn't work there. I wouldn't be the one who works there if they did that.
That's a really common way of getting around like imperfections in the brewing process, is just throwing a fuck ton of fruit or like a fuck ton of chocolate cake in.
I'm gonna have to cut this out, but we just tapped a new IPA, a new hazy IPA that's like a mango one, and what I found out is they took this double IPA that everyone fucking hated and put a bunch of melon, like watermelon and shit in it, and now everyone's like, oh, I love it now. And I'm like, guys, this is terrible. And you can still tell it's the shit. It's like fucking months old kegs of this terrible double hazy IPA.
Oh, that's horrible. The only way, but even that's evolved. Even that evolved in like the past 5 years. Those evolved into what is known as smoothie beer. Which is just like the final form of, I think you just like juice. not beer. I think you just actually want soda.
You should
like Doritos is a thing.
Check out or just like check out ciders. There's like the world of ciders is wonderful. There is a wonderful watermelon cider at work that we had on tap that was wonderful, and it tasted like juice. But with a cider, that's what it is. It's alcoholic juice.
Right. Like, here's the thing. Just drink sarsaparilla. Just drink root beer. You don't like beer. Like that's that's my thing. It's okay to not like beer. There's so many people that don't like beer.
Yeah, that's true.
And you don't have to drink it. And if you just want a smoothie instead, there are so many places that will make you a really good smoothie that doesn't have all the hidden calories and shitty side effects of beer. And
people just want beer. I think people feel like they're supposed to like beer. I think, it's okay to not like beer.
Yeah. I'm saying this as someone who used to be part of an alcohol club at my law school.
Oh, nice. We're like craft beer alcohol club.
Okay. I would tell you the name, but it would absolutely just straight up dox me. So, but basically we would go around and the school would pay for us to go to these breweries and distilleries. And
that rocks.
Under the guise of we're learning about alcohol regulatory law.
That's right. Oh man, I have a coworker that when they were in college got to take a beer and wine class as an extracurricular, and I'm like, man, I'm so jealous I didn't go to a big enough school to have some bullshit like that at it. I mean, that rocks so much.
Right, and I went to a Christian school, so guess how drinking was treated there.
Oh, it was super supported. They were like, you should do it all the time.
Well, this was in law school.
Definitely do it on campus.
I was just law school. Yeah.
In undergrad, drinking was not allowed even off campus.
Yeah,
that changed. And then so anyway, I got really into craft beer. Way too into it.
You got annoying about it because that would have been right in the craft beer era.
Oh yeah,
too. Yeah,
it was right in there. We had one of my friends owned a beer store with his brother and would get crazy allocations, and we those were the days. I still remember one time we went to a restaurant in we went to some restaurant and they actually had a pretty cool beer list with some rarer stuff on the menu, and it was all craft. It was all either local craft beer or really high end stuff that was high end craft and imports. And my friend who owns the beer store, and this will just tell you what kind of person he is. He just looks at the server and goes, "You guys have Miller?" And
okay. Yeah.
and they go, "We try to focus on craft beverages, blah, blah, blah." And he goes, okay, and looks at the menu. And they said it in the most condescending tone. And he was like, okay, we'll take the Cantillon, which basically for context, it was $29 for a 375 mil.
Oh my god, dude!
He was like, if you're gonna be an asshole to me, I'm not obviously this is just giving you money, but it's not like I don't know about beer. Sometimes you just want Miller.
Sometimes you just want a cheap. Okay, this is what I'm annoyed by at my job because I work at a. I say this enough on the podcast, but I do think I do feel the need to re-say it. So I work at a dine-in movie theater, which is also a brewery in a dying mall, and I'm a bartender there. So I work around craft beer a bunch. One of the beers we have on tap is it's craft beer insofar as it's being made by a microbrewery, but it is a light beer. It is a Mexican lager, so it is got some corn going into it, but it is ultimately just a light beer. And if you want your piss water beer, it's there. And then we also have a domestic fridge, but it's the same price. So you could have something off the tap that tastes better, but is also still light piss water beer. And people still fight me. They're like, no, I do not want to try that. Every guy I've gotten to try that is like, oh, that's pretty good. And then he gets it. But I can never, like, there's like a good, like 90% of people that fight me on it. They're like, absolutely not.
What is the domestic piss water?
We've got Bud Light, Mick Ultra, Coors recently.
Really bad.
Yeah. We have Dos Equis, and am I missing one? No, I think it's changed in the year I've worked there.
What you're saying is, basically my question was, you mentioned Mexican lager. I was trying to see if
there's no Mexican. Well, I guess Dos Equis now. Yeah.
If it was Modelo time, but it's not Modelo time at the at the dine-in / brewery, movie theater / brewery.
No, it's.
I love a Modelo. I
do too.
I love a Miller High Life.
I usually tell people it's our take, like the Mexican lagers, like our like our take on like a Corona or something like that. But it's the same thing. It's cheap. Like all of those cheap beers taste the same. It is pure brand allegiance. I don't think a Coors versus a Bud tastes that different fully. Like I've had.
Well, no, those are terrible. Miller Lite is very obviously better than them.
I suppose.
And of course, the champagne of beers conquers all.
Miller High Life.
Yeah, definitely. As I've gotten older, basically aged into having an appreciation for just like what I call dad beers,
cheap shitty beers.
Yeah, like, you know what, man, sometimes I get done mowing the yard and I'm like, I would really like something that does not challenge my palate right now. Like, I'm just gonna have a Bud Heavy. I'm just gonna have a Hams or a Schlitz or a
Schlitz. Let's go.
Hams, PBR, and Bud Heavy are like my cheap beers if I'm getting one.
You know sometimes what the like real, a Corona. Here's the real is Genesee Cream Ale.
Yes.
You used to be able to get of course before Joe Biden. You used to be able to get
before wokeness,
before Bidenomics, you used to be able to get a 30 rack of Genesee Cream Ale for $13 at Walmart.
That's crazy. Okay. What I was going to say about my job, though, that drives me crazy about the domestics is I was saying the domestics changed while I was there, right? Yeah. So in here in Iowa, Busch Light is like the go-to domestic. Like that is the light beer. Yeah, it
is the thing that Iowa State fans will famously drink a stadium out of.
Yes.
Famously, Iowa State fans will go to a place and they'll say like, "Boy, we stocked up for you guys," and then you'll see some sort of notification on the internet like, they dried us out by halftime.
Mm-hmm.
What is Iowa?
I don't know why that's Iowa's thing, but it is. I've never been a Busch Light fan either, but it is like that is what like the dad beer of Iowa is. Now, here's the thing that drives me nuts is the place I work at is technically a chain. It's just they're like distance enough between the locations that people in their respective cities don't realize it's a chain because it's like, we got to look. So the owners are in Texas and they decided that there needs to be a continuity between locations rather than them be localized. So I mentioned that we had Dos Equis. We replaced Busch with Dos Equis.
Oh, I bet people went crazy.
Yeah, well, we sell like 2 of those. Like I would say over the course of us switching, which was several months ago, I've sold maybe a total of 10 Dos Equis, as I used to sell maybe 2 Busch Lights a shift at least.
Yeah, because that's the Iowa beer.
That's the Iowa beer.
That's so weird.
I know. I fucking hate it, dude. It reminds me a lot of a coffee shop Chris and I used to work at where there were small town owners, but the location we worked at was in the big city of Des Moines, but enough of a city that people were doing things like asking for almond milk, and the small town owners were like, why would anybody want almond milk? I don't know, man. It's a bunch of fucking vegans in Des Moines, dude. Like, because people keep I think we talked them into it because we did a thing. I don't remember if this was after you left, Chris, or not, but we had a shift or two where we put a sheet out and we did a tally mark every time someone asked for almond milk.
Here's the
owners.
I would just say that sounds like, while I was the assistant manager there, that sounds like the sort of like malicious thing that I would have done to corporate, where I would just like. Like where where I would just be like, you guys made another stupid decision and saddled me with another stupid thing I have to do. And I'm going to get back at you in this like really petty way.
That was a great way to do it.
You are giving up money by not letting me just have some fucking almond milk.
It was so annoying. It was just they insisted on soy was the only option, and they were, that was it. Tastes the same. It's totally the same, right?
By the way, I do want to say this is how bad at podcasting I am. I have food on the way, and it'll be here in like 5 minutes, so I have to run down and get it.
That's okay. That's okay.
So, but I also that just made me think there's this coffee shop in Nashville called Barista Parlor.
Oh my God. I'm waiting to hear what you say about these guys.
So back when I lived in Nashville, they were like the shit, like getting on like world's best coffee shop rankings and shit like that. Sure. They only did pour overs and espresso drinks. There was no drip. So if you wanted black coffee, if you wanted coffee with cream and sugar, you had to pay for the full pour over, which I thought was actually kind of cool. It differentiated them between like as like a specialty coffee shop, sticking to their guns.
There's a million fucking Starbucks or whatever people can go to if they
if you just want your drip,
coffee,
you can go get that. But we want to make you like this handmade little pour over thing. It was pretentious as fuck, don't get me wrong, but I thought they had like a really cool thing going. It had this incredible design. They had all this in-house really well made food, and like
the breakfast food there was good. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it was so good. And they only had like 2 locations, one in East Nashville and one in the Gulch. And then in my 1L year of law school, when I moved back to work for a music attorney on Music Row, which was such a weird experience.
That sounds like such a weird time. Yeah.
But I spent the summer there doing that, and also working at an ice cream shop. And but I had a lot of free time because there was fuck all to do unless I was working at the ice cream shop. And I spent all my time at Barista Parlor. I was so over caffeinated. My blood pressure must have been out of control.
Yeah.
How much caffeine that I had. And one of my best friends worked there. And he was like getting all this like super intense training and stuff like that, and talking about how high quality everything was. And then it started to kind of change. And like things like weren't as clean. And then the food sourcing changed, and they started doing these like pre-made type breakfast sandwiches, and I was like, oh, that's weird.
Like
that's what happened.
And then one day I came in, and there was drip, and I was like, I don't know about this. And then I tried to be like, oh no, you got to have drip for people that just want your coffee, but then and then they started opening a location after location after location in every neighborhood in Nashville. Man,
it sounds an awful lot like they got bought off.
And I'm pretty sure, Chris, isn't that what happened? Didn't he sell off part of the?
I think
didn't
so.
Didn't the guy sell off part of the stake to?
I believe the founder did do that. He basically sold up, which, on the one hand, you can't blame the guy.
Get your bag, but like,
but then also, so I think they sold to some sort of equity firm that wanted ROI, and guess how they feel about treating their employees?
They don't give a fuck about their employees. Cool. They fired all of them. And hired a bunch of new, just like scrubs that they could pay shit.
Yeah, you can call them scabs. Scabs.
Yeah, basically scabs. And I guess it wasn't really a strike, so that's why I wasn't calling them scabs. But in effect, they were acting as scabs,
like totally engaged in union busting.
But also. But I don't think the scabs knew they were scabs. I think they're just
looking for a job.
Yeah. They're just people looking for jobs. But that's not to say that what the ownership was doing wasn't super shitty. And the last person standing was my friend. And then he was like, who is training all the new people. And then he was like, I'm not doing this anymore. So I got the behind the scenes, just like, I still remember going in there and being like, where is everybody? And he and this girl were like, they're gone. I was like, what fuck do you mean they're gone? And now I was just looking on Instagram recently, and they're slowly starting to close locations.
Yeah, yeah.
The Goltz location closed. They're closing another one, I think, like effective as of today.
Yeah. And they did a rebrand as well that just looks stupid. The last time we were in Nashville,
so bad.
Yeah, the last time we were in Nashville, we drove by one. Kim was like, "Oh, we've been there before," and I was like, "I'm not giving those people my money." Also, that looks dumb.
No, fuck that. It looks really dumb now. It used to be so sick. It used to be like the cutting edge.
Yeah.
And anyway, that's just my rant about Barista Parlor being shitty. And now I'm going to leave y'all to go grab this.
Delectable it's just
food.
It just happens.
So like, there's definitely a place for a snooty coffee place.
I love a snooty coffee place. Yeah.
And the same way with beer.
Craft beer. Yeah.
Definitely a place for, a snooty place. But I generally am like, I'll seek out that snooty place because I want to I want to see, is it that good? But I know like when I was working with Matt at Light Bright to get that place kind of up and running at the start, one of the things that we both like really aligned on was like, I don't want to say like good enough or whatever, because I think that we actually made some really, really good coffee.
Yeah, no, that was a good coffee shop. For those listening, that is a coffee shop that Chris used to work at after he worked at the one we worked at together.
But our idea was like, people just want a cup of coffee, and like we can get a drip coffee like dialed in to be 90% good. You know, like
good quality, but it's also drip. Yeah,
it's drip. And it'll cost you $2 to get it, and we'll hand it to you in 20 seconds. And then you can go and get on with your day. And we still gave you a really good coffee, and it didn't take us 5 minutes to get it to you, and it didn't cost you $5. Like, why don't we just do that? And so like that was kind of the thing that both of us aligned on. I remember when I worked at a brunch place in Des Moines. I had a barista back there. I was the bar manager. I had a barista back there with me, who genuinely one of the most talented baristas I've ever worked with. But there would be times, particularly on weekends, where we needed to get shit out the door.
Yeah.
And he would throw out a shot because it was like 1 second too long or 1 second too short, and we'd just have tickets piling up, just stacking up on the bar. And like, I'd have to like stop making cocktails and start helping. And I had to tell him at one point, I was like, dude, at some point, it's just the drink has to go.
Yeah.
Like you need to be able to be okay in a place like this. You need to be able to be okay with good enough. Not everything can be perfect.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
Hey, I had a bad pour and the latte art on this isn't amazing. So what? Send it.
I think if you're a guy that's like complaining about the quality of like the latte art or how the milk is steamed, when you come in and you like waited 10 minutes at a line, you're an asshole. Okay. Like,
right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you had to wait that long, that means the baristas are probably getting slammed. Like,
yeah, for sure. And kind of going back a little bit too to what we were talking about with having an appreciation for like dad beers and stuff is like, the craft brewing industry kind of got a little bit up its own ass about a lot of things. And we were bad mouthing Stone earlier. Stone was actually one of the biggest perpetrators in the whole hop arms race that we underwent for a really long time there. That I don't think the industry has. Yeah, I don't think the industry has recovered from that.
I think honestly. It ruined craft beer for a lot of people that probably would have liked it too, because they just associate craft beer with like something that's so bitter you can't handle it.
Right.
It's
like nobody makes. This always bums my dad out anytime we go to a brewery. Like, very few breweries have like a brown ale on offer. Like it's just not a thing you can get. And they might have one dark beer and one like lager or pilsner. And it's like, on the one hand, sure, I get it. The kind of people who are going to come to a craft brewery are the kind of people who they've essentially self-selected a clientele that only wants hops now. But it's like, I don't know, man, like sometimes normal people might just want to drink a normal fucking beer.
Yeah. Well, right. Yeah. And you can still do
you can still make it really good.
Special ass lager or stout or like there are like plenty of these things you can do.
Yeah. Well, it's one thing that Confluence in Des Moines does really well. The Blue Corn Lager is delicious.
Yeah. Not to mention, I mean, I think they have the most popular West Coast IPA in the Des Moines Metro, right? Like we were forced to take on a guest tap of Des Moines IPA because just that was the amount of times we had people ask for it. And it's kind of my go-to when I go to places too.
Yeah, that's a really good one. You know, and so Confluence is run by people who like just genuinely love beer and love making beer and trying weird stuff. So like, you know, they had that Gray's Lake Nessie, you know, like a little Scotch ale. Like you don't see that a lot from a lot of breweries. They're all just like still in this like arms race about, well, it's got to be hoppy, it's got to be bitter, and like sometimes like, you know, like we hopped this continually for 5 hours. It's like, okay, well, I can't really taste the difference between this one and the 2-hour one that you did. So
I don't give a shit.
What are you talking about?
I don't give a shit.
And I've got a pretty decent palate in general, so like I can't tell the difference between your beers. One of them just costs more and is more extreme. Hey, I actually might just since this is actually taking a little bit longer than I thought it would, go for it. I might go pee again.
Go pee.
Keep that in, by the way.
Will do.
Or don't, you know, it's your show.
We're so back.
Oh my God. That's so funny. You stepped in back right when Chris was like, oh, this is taking a little longer. I think I'm going to run to the restroom.
I got stuff from this local pizza place. I actually didn't get pizza. They have this amazing salad because
oh, nice.
You know, new year, new me.
Yeah. Trying to eat healthy.
Well, I'm not going to say it's healthy.
Trying to eat healthier.
Yeah. But to balance that out and make sure that it's New Year, same me, I got their Nutella rolls.
Oh,
which
good.
is their pizza dough.
Oh, yeah.
Like rolled up with Nutella.
Oh, yeah.
Let me see if you can see the.
Oh, fuck, dude. Oh, that looks so good.
With the powdered sugar on it.
Oh, my God. I would eat the shit out of that.
Yeah. So I got some of those. My girlfriend is gone for the week, so it's just me. And I usually do all the cooking, but now I'm being lazy and
being lazy.
Not doing that. So,
oh yeah.
Sorry, I missed it. What'd you get?
I got this salad from this really good salad from this local pizza place, and then I balanced that out by getting these Nutella rolls with powdered sugar on them.
It looks so good.
Oh, goodness gracious.
So.
You are listening to Fruitless, a podcast hosted by me, Josiah Sutton. And this is episode 78. Welcome to 2026, part 1. A very low effort episode where we're just hanging out because it's the New Year's and I'm tired because I work a service job I worked it over the holidays. So. Yeah. Hey everybody, welcome to this is an annual tradition, I think, at this point, which is the first episode of a year on Fruitless is a deeply lazy episode because I'm so burnt out from the holidays. So I just get some friends to come on and talk for like 2 hours and call it good. Yes, welcome to 2026. And in fact, I had so many people say yes to this time that the Patreon episode after this is also going to be that. It's just going to be different friends. I had to split them up because it was going to be too many mics. But yes, for the free episode, we've got the book club crew. Actually, we got Chris and Jake. Hello, Chris.
Hello,
Jake.
Hello. And it's obvious that you're keeping the good hosts for behind the paywall. If you want to hear good content, please subscribe to the Patreon.
No, I put the host most likely to make death threats behind the paywall. That's You're all the nice ones, you know.
We're saying the same thing. Good content.
Yeah, so that's why you all got a 30-minute cold open about craft beer and coffee. And I'm sure that there's a good chunk of people that switched it off after 5 minutes, being like, is this what all of this? This is what this is going to be the whole time?
I mean, at least for that amount of time it was.
Yeah, that amount of time.
I thought it was very nice.
I think it was great. It was nice to talk about something that wasn't politics. But, speaking of that, and I don't want to get too much into it because I don't want to get bummed out too much, but I do feel we do need to. Here, opening question. Is it okay and good?
We're going to address the literal elephant in the room.
Kidnap or abduct, or what's the value neutral term that they're trying to use in the media? Capture a foreign leader.
Seems bad.
Is that allowed? Can you just do that you're not at war with officially? You just kind of go in and take them,
blow stuff up,
and kill 40 to 80 people in the process. I don't want to skip over that.
and also do a military strike on the on the mausoleum of a former leader of the country. Did you know that? Did you know
I missed that part. No.
We shot missiles at Chavez's mausoleum.
I missed that. Did we get it?
The Chavalier.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. Did we actually desecrate Chavez's grave?
Yeah, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
We are evil. We are the baddies.
Are we the baddies? I think we might be the bad guys.
Here's what you don't understand. Debbie Wasserman Schultz constituency could not be happier about this. That means that Trump will only win Florida by 12 points.
Okay.
Instead of the 20 that we're trending towards.
It's crazy, man. I just
what you don't understand is that he was bad. So we can do whatever we want.
We're allowed to do whatever. Now, and this has worked out in the past, correct? When we toppled regimes. Yeah.
Batista worked great.
That worked good. Saddam Hussein.
Awesome. Saddam Hussein worked really well.
Good. Yeah, they all worked out fine.
Allende, that worked out well.
Famously, absolutely no flaws with the Taliban.
That's right.
Yeah,
we got Gaddafi, and then Libya's been super cool. Since.
No slave markets.
Nope. Nothing wrong.
Noriega went great.
Yeah. Noriega, super good. Super good. There were no, I'm not going to, no, we're not going to talk about the brutal details of that. But what I am going to say is, isn't it totally justified for China to do the exact same thing to Taiwan?
I mean, this is a global precedent. Well, I've been saying that Lula and Petro, if they want to do the funniest thing possible, it is available now. It's international precedent's been set, and I mean,
if you just roll out some bad things that you think a leader has done, you can go into that country and
just take
their leader. So, Putin can do it to Zelensky at any time.
Zelensky can do it to Putin.
Zelensky can do it to
allowed.
Putin. You can do whatever you want.
This is
the multipolar world.
Mr. President Lula, my people...
President
Xi,
fire when ready. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, no, I came back from a really late bartending shift that Friday. And so I sat down, so I was awake for it happening. I got home, day of work in the bag. I'm done. Wow, I was there so late. It's 2 a.m. This sucks. Let me load up twitter.com and see what's going on.
Surely there's nothing happening.
Yeah, nothing's going on. And the first thing I saw was 5 minutes ago, and it was before the actual press had done it. It was the videos hitting OSINT accounts on various social media being there's explosions in Venezuela.
Wonderful.
Yeah, great, awesome. So
I woke up to notifications on my phone that morning. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh man, I ended up staying up to like 4 or 5 until I found out what that we'd taken Maduro. Man, what a fucking.
I think so. Like, I don't like Maduro, but like, this is just transparently about. I mean, like, it's what Trump has been saying the whole time.
He just said we're going in there to extract resources.
It's like you don't even have to go into like Iraq War era where you're kind of on the fringes saying like, I think this is about oil, like
right.
you just can point at what Trump is saying and be
right. like that's what makes this bad. Like, sure, whatever. I'll concede the point that Maduro was bad at running a country, and that Maduro is like a bad person. What head of state is a good person?
You kind of have to be evil to be a head of state.
Yeah,
but war crimes are a part of what you do. Crimes against humanity are a part of it's baked into the job. You're going to hell if you are a head of state.
Yeah, but we're just like so transparently being like, man, we want your stuff. Yeah. Like, that's what makes this bad. Like, it's illegal and bad. Like, that's the end. That's the end of the argument. This is illegal and it's bad.
I just can't fucking take anything seriously from like the administration we have lived through and the administrations that we have and the administrations plural that we've lived through, like talking about this level of, it's like we are living through like one of the most corrupt presidency in American history. And so to be like, oh, this corrupt dictator, no.
Yeah, I just can't care.
I just cannot care. I care about, like, I hope that the Venezuelan people get the leader that they want. But I don't think the U.S. is fucking involved in making that happen ever in any way.
I saw someone, actually, I think it was the menswear guy, Derek Guy.
Oh, yeah.
Tweeted, finally, precedented times.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. This is just old school. That's what makes me feel crazy about it. Is that we're just digging up old classics here.
I'm telling you,
fucking around in Latin America.
He's stuck in the 80s.
Yes,
he
yes.
He was quintessentially the 80s, like an 80s guy.
He still dresses like it.
Yeah,
his tailoring has made absolutely no strides.
His tailoring is atrocious. Speaking of menswear,
and it scares the shit out of me seeing the degree to which he's already talking shit to Scheinbaum and to Petro and to Lula, and it's like, are we going to start a regional war? Are we seriously about to fucking do this?
And Cuba, and he's threatening Greenland again, and just wait, in like a week or two, he'll forget that Canada existed and then see it on a map and be like, oh, I want that too.
Yeah, because I don't think Trump's ever played a paradox game, but there's like paradox game brain here. Where it's like, well, I want to see the border get bigger, I want to see.
I need it all to be orange. Like, I need my state is orange, and I need more orange on the board.
Yeah.
I need to paint the map.
Yeah. The spice must flow, and it can only flow if all of the trade routes are through my land.
That's right. Yeah, we need the New York trade node to like, we need to direct trade that direction. Fucking hell.
Oh man, it just
I'll another thing that I'll say is, so I've noticed a little bit that there've been essentially counter protests in Venezuela about U.S. interference, pretty large ones, from what I can tell.
So as far as I can tell,
they're paid actors and they're forced to be there.
I'm sure. You can see the public opinion. Like, there was polling prior to this about U.S. intervention in Venezuela. It was that like, I'll put the link to this in the show notes, but it was around 60% of the Venezuelan diaspora supported U.S. intervention in Venezuela, but only like 30% or less supported that in Venezuela proper, which makes perfect sense, crazy. Right? It's like, okay, the people that left the country likely are like the least happy with the existing regime, and the people that left the country are also like going to have less of a direct impact if bombs are being dropped on Venezuela.
That's crazy. Where have we seen those kind of numbers before?
Right. This happens all the time. Like,
I'm glad you brought that up. So this is a thing that Kim and I have talked about quite a lot. If I've never mentioned it before on the show, my wife is Cuban. Her mom was born in Cuba. And something that is a very long-standing gripe of Kim's is the way that American media and American politics treat the Cubans who have left Cuba. Well, of course they don't like Cuba. The way things are going in Cuba.
Right, they left.
That's why they left. Of course they don't like it. They were the rich people. They were the rich people who the state said, you should be less rich. And they went, no, I'm going to throw a tantrum and leave.
So not all. So the original Cuban diaspora was largely that. There are a lot of Cuban people of the Cuban diaspora that came after the
that are
like further into the revolution that were of lower class and were seeking a better life, and like, but also they can't get essentials into the country. Well, they can't actually run. They can't run the country properly. So it would make sense that people want to leave because
of the embargo.
There's a massive.
Which embargo. Is also the case with Venezuela. It's like if you wanted to increase the quality of life of the average Venezuelan, do you know what you could do? Let's not fucking embargo them.
No, Maduro would just take all the money, Josiah. You don't understand.
Right.
And then also another thing. So I mean, we mentioned we mentioned that obviously these people who are in the diaspora don't have to worry about the threat of bombs falling on their heads or the threat of just general societal instability and the risks that carries with it. The other thing that so this was something that Kim was talking to me about today, is that like they're not going to go back. Like there have been a bunch of Cuban people in the Cuban diaspora who've been like posting about this and essentially saying like, do Cuba next. And I was like, shut the fuck up. You're not going to go back. Like you're not. Like your family's not going back to Cuba. Well, you're not going to go to Cuba. Not. You like it better here. That's why you came in the first. Like,
I mean, toppling.
You're not going to go back.
Toppling Maduro is like, it's part of that. I think because you know, like Venezuelan immigrants is one of the groups that like the Trump admin is really targeted. And I think that's also like, it's not I think the leading thing is like oil, and also Trump likes to feel like a big powerful guy. I think that's like the main thing going on. But I think one of the other little things going on here is if Maduro's not in power anymore, you could be like, you have no more excuses, get back. You know what I mean?
But I don't think that's going to happen.
No, it's not. That's not how that works. Well, yeah, I mean, you uproot your fucking life. No matter how bad it even is here, it's like if you've already uprooted your life once, you want to do it again? You know, like no.
Shit, even moving within this country is annoying enough. I'm not going to do it transnational if I don't have to.
The last New Year's episode I had said that I was hoping by this time the following year I'd be moved to Minneapolis, and I didn't because I couldn't afford to do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard enough to fucking move 5 or 6 hours north.
Subscribe to the Patreon, everyone.
Yeah, subscribe to the Patreon so I can get to Minneapolis, please, for the love of God. And I don't have to work at a shitty brewery anymore.
I think when Kim and I priced it out, it cost us something like $8,000 to move from Iowa to Chattanooga.
And that sounds like you did it pretty cheap. That's a pretty cheap move.
Yeah, well, because that's with my dad towing a U-Haul behind his truck, and then us putting all of the rest of our belongings in two of our two cars, my dad's truck, one of my brother's cars, and one of my other brother's SUVs. We had a 5-car train with a U-Haul trailer going behind it. None of those people got paid.
Right. Let alone like doing that entire process where you're like fleeing and potentially in a legally gray zone and, you know, having to navigate multiple customs and stuff like that, you know, like all of these things, not to mention like, I don't know, having to be smuggled into a country. Like the amount of work it takes to do this is not.
Yeah. It's not inconsiderable.
It's not.
And you don't want to have to do it again. You're not going to go back if you don't have to.
Right.
And, you know, hey, maybe the Trump administration will make them have to. That would suck. I would not want that for these people. I want people to...
I want Venezuelans in America.
Yeah. I want for people to feel comfortable and welcomed to live in this country, as shit as it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's me. I'm a weirdo.
Yeah.
I want to move somewhere else.
I definitely would also like to be able to move to Ireland, just so we're clear. I prefer that.
Do they need American bankruptcy professionals?
I mean, honestly, they could, because there are a lot of companies that use Dublin and just Ireland in general as essentially like a tax dodge.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So they might.
They might, yeah.
Another news hook that we could talk about, this is one that I am admittedly not very well read up on, is this whole Somali welfare fraud thing. I don't know.
I'm not okay.
Anything to say about it? I don't really know beyond it smells like bullshit to me.
It is, as far as I can tell. And again, I'm not super well read on this. This is a low effort episode, so please, people, read your own stuff before taking whatever I say here. But as far as I am aware, this is complete bullshit. What a lot of this is like. You know the thing, well, like there's a good QA episode about this at one point where it's very clear that there's a good chunk of the population that's never looked at the sky before, and then recently looked at the sky and started noticing contrails, and they're like, whoa, those weren't there when I grew up. Yes, they were. They've always been there, but no, those weren't there when I kind of feel like that's what's happening with daycares right now, because it started with like a bunch of these like, X posts or whatever, where people were like, look at daycares in my area on like Minneapolis or whatever. And they'd be like, oh, that's too many daycares to line up with the amount of people that live here, which I think is most people having never looked up how many daycares are in their area.
Right. Or, like, hey, it turns out that like professions tend to cluster.
Professions tend to cluster. And then also just like there's a lot of little daycares that you might not recognize as daycares in your area. Like that, it's just literally just be a house. Yeah, it might not, like, there's one like 2 blocks from me that's like built into the apartment complex I'm in. Like there's tons of these little things like that, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think there's a lot of people not aware of that, and then they kind of spiraled that into a conspiracy thing and are trying to tie it into the vaguely like all the anti-Somali shit in general that's been going on related to Minneapolis right now with the Trump admin. So they're kind of tying it into an existing narrative. As far as I can tell, from my understanding of it, there are like a handful of daycare fraud cases that exist. I believe all of them were white people. And I believe the one that was getting tried in Minneapolis was getting tried under the Biden administration. So it was already in the works. Like the legal stuff was happening.
The swift hand of justice has been asleep at the wheel.
No. As far as I can tell, that's what it is. Again, I have not read up on this too much, but that's my understanding of it. And then, yeah, I mean, the actual outcome of this is that what you have is a bunch of fucking right-wing dudes going and checking out their local daycares, getting kicked out when a single guy comes and starts peering through the windows of a daycare. They are escorted out, and then they're hiding something in there, and not
yes, children. They're hiding children
from you and your pedophile president.
This actually reminds me of two things, which is remember when they did the big investigation into voter fraud and then found like the only person that actually did voter fraud was an old woman who voted Republican?
Yeah.
And then the other one is remember when Brett Favre did like a massive like welfare fraud scheme
in Mississippi?
Yeah.
To get a fucking volleyball stadium built for his daughter.
It was something assistant. It was TANF, right? Temporary assistance for needy families. Yeah.
Oh, there's no Nate on the episode, so I could say classic Packer behavior. I'm telling you, this is classic.
So like, and then it just kind of like, I actually don't know how that resolved. Like, it just kind of went away.
I'm sure he got some sort of pardon or commutation or
let's see.
Whatever the
did he actually have to pay up?
I'm checking
out. No idea.
I am checking out the Wikipedia now. Oh man.
Because think about.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, whenever, I know it's cliche, but every accusation is a confession.
Uh-huh.
And
yeah,
it just it
I
can't.
mean, seriously though, like on the every accusation is a confession. What are all of the like little like homeschool co-ops that are run in this country? Except like some little scam for
Oh,
evangelicals
absolutely,
and
absolutely.
Dude.
Like all sorts of stuff like
Dude,
that.
I
It's
took
like
I took a psychology class in high school because I went to one of those homeschool co-ops for high school. I took a psychology class from a lady who'd taken one psychology class at undergrad, and that was what they decided was enough. I have now taken more psychology classes than my psychology teacher in high school.
Which one of these is fraud?
Yeah, right.
And another thing that just annoys me is just the general inhumanity of it. Like the Somali community in the Twin Cities is actually really, really cool.
Yeah.
And also they're here because of a whole bunch of stuff that the United States was very intimately involved in their country.
I was gonna say
That's crazy how that happened.
I had a Somali guy when I went to DMAC, the community college in Des Moines here for the first 2 years. I took a speech class that I think really fondly back on the speech class because I took a speech class at a community college. So I was like the youngest person. I was the only one that was kind of a traditional student. Everyone was non-traditional. And it was like, I feel like it opened my eyes a lot as like a 19-year-old or whatever. And I had a Somali guy in there who was awesome. And he gave a speech that was like a persuasive speech that he kind of almost turned into a stand-up routine. It was so funny. That was about why you should visit Somalia. And it was both heartfelt and also like making jabs, and it was so funny because it was also like part of the reason Somalia has this reputation is because there isn't a tourism industry. So he's like, actually it would be good if you all came here, but then also there's a lot of shit going on in Somalia that's pretty bad. And he had such a funny line where he was like, you can hire your own bodyguards there if you're worried about stuff, and don't worry, they were trained by your troops. Yeah, he was awesome. I love that guy.
That's so funny. That's so good. Are we the baddies?
I think so.
It's
like I don't want America bad is so easy to say, but also it's easy to say because it's kind of true.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think it's where it gets annoying to me is when people just stop at America bad and like don't have any like further or deeper analysis than that.
Well,
like, and
right.
they, never take the time to consider like what if America was maybe just less bad? That would be good? What ways could we make America less bad?
Sure. Well, and also when America bad is being used primarily to justify just other regimes that are bad, I don't love that. Yeah. That's usually where I clench up at it. But on the whole, it's not like an incorrect theory of politics, like a good rule of thumb, I'd say.
It sounds earlier. It sounded like earlier. It sounded like you were justifying Nicolas Maduro's reign by saying that America is also bad. So I'm just going to call you out as a hypocrite,
as a Maduro stan.
We're gonna call you out by calling you in, Josiah.
There we go.
No, because I remember that was something, Josiah, that you and I kind of talked about a lot, right when the invasion of Ukraine was happening. Of like, the United States is bad. That doesn't mean that there are not other bad places who do bad things.
Well, and I mean, as we move more and more into like a non-unipolar world order, we will see imperialism done by other regimes, and I do think as a leftist you should be capable of critiquing imperialism done by other regimes.
Yeah, man, like walk and chew gum. And if the United States says, hey, that's not good, you should stop doing that, your analysis should not like end at, well, the United States does a lot of bad stuff. It's like, well, yes, two things can be true.
Yeah, it is difficult to like, it's sort of a plank in your own eye type thing,
right? When the US says like, because
when Russia invades Ukraine and people are like, well, Russia's this bad country, and I'm like, they shouldn't have invaded Ukraine. That's obviously bad. Do you know why Russia is the way that it is?
Yeah, you want to go back? Yeah, right. What happened the last couple decades?
Yeah. Do you remember when we were instrumental in creating the largest collapse in human life expectancy in like the modern era?
Yeah,
maybe ever.
Yeah,
like.
Yeah. It's so fun to talk about like the oligarchs and be like, I wonder where they got all that money.
Who set up the conditions for that?
Where did that money come from?
It's just so that's what I kind of mean. It's like where it's kind of a plank in your own eye situation where I'm like obviously I'm gonna be against Russia invading Ukraine, and I'm gonna say that that's bad, and I'm gonna condemn Russia, but just remember it's also our fault.
Well, right, and
you can never forget that a lot of this is on us.
Is our fault, yeah, and that the U.S. has not put itself in a moral position to be making those pronouncements. You know what I mean? Like I said, I just can't take the Trump administration seriously saying any of the accusations they have against Maduro. You know what I mean?
It's literally just like Putin being like, well, they have Nazis.
Yeah, it's like, bro, come on.
Well, another thing I remember from grad school was one of my professors. Somebody in a class discussion talked about. I think they were talking about North Korea and called them a rogue nation. And my professor goes, I mean, don't you think that the only country in the world that has ever dropped a nuclear bomb on another one is actually the rogue nation?
Crazy thought. Also, like, I wonder why North Korea is the way that it is.
Yeah, that's so crazy. I wonder how those conditions came about.
That's crazy. Man, I wonder if there was a war waged against Korea. Like we could call it the Korean War. And it has been being deliberated for several decades whether it counted as a genocide during certain points. Maybe that like plays a role in why you would have a dictatorial regime rise up in that place that's specifically united around the concept of independence and isolation from the outside. I don't know.
Well, and luckily
self-sufficiency.
Luckily to its southern border, you have a paradise.
Yes, a country that nothing dictatorial has ever happened.
Nothing dictatorial has happened. There's no insane poverty. There's no. They definitely don't.
A very famous film that is completely about how.
There's not
about how the wealthy
There's not several extremely popular and well-regarded films and television shows about how crushing the wealth inequality is.
Yeah, it's not like one of them won a fucking Oscar, by the way. Like, I know you all watched that.
Oh my god, I think I've told this story before, but I saw that movie by myself in a theater.
Parasite, right?
Yeah, Parasite. And I walked out and I was like, damn, that was really good. And then I was just thinking to myself about the movie, and this older gentleman next to me turns to me and says, wow, the human condition.
That's so deep, dude. That's so deep.
I was like, did we watch the same movie? What?
Oh, that's so funny. I saw Parasite twice in theaters, and it was kind of cool because I saw it early on in its initial run to an empty theater, and then I saw it when a local theater here replayed it after it won the Oscar, and the theater was completely packed. It was kind of cool to see that movie like explode like that.
I mean, I liked it. It also reminds me.
Parasite's great.
Like Chernobyl. I remember like the TV show, because I was watching that going, oh, Jesus Christ, this movie's about us.
This isn't actually about the Soviet Union, is it? This is kind of more about
us. I was watching it going like, oh, this TV show's about us. And then going on the internet and being like, I don't think, oh man, I don't think I'm the same as
yeah, because everyone
most people.
Because most people just saw that as like, wow, the horrors of the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
It's amazing the way that people struggle with allegory, or like, oh, you can use one historical event to talk about the current, state of things.
I don't know. General media literacy. I remember when the movie Mother came out, and there were all of these, the reviews very frequently were like, it's about how hard it is to live with like a creative person, somebody who, and I was like, that's just, it was just the Bible. The movie is the Bible.
I don't know. I know exactly what you're talking about. This is Richard Brody's review in the New Yorker. I read it.
Well,
and I was like, I kind of get it. Like, I kind of get it distilled even more colloquially into this. The movie is about what it's like to have a shitty roommate.
Yes, that is true. But it wasn't just that New York Times review. There were several that were like that about it, and I was just like, you guys, it's the Bible.
He's literally just doing the Bible. Yeah.
Right. Well, it's like watching Children of Men and being like, yeah, reproduction is so important. This is a pro-life movie, actually.
Yeah, no, it's very clearly just the Bible, and but it's Aronofsky's like take on how insane that story is.
Well, yeah, it's a Jewish person doing like with an eye towards it leading up to the New Testament, rather than just stopping when it stops and being like, that's kind of a weird book. Got a lot of questions about it.
Yeah, it's just it's an interesting movie, but I do think it being about having a shitty roommate that is like a creative is such a good. Yeah. It's so funny to think back on the movie and be like, I kind of get it. I still remember when I watched that movie, I had a meeting the next day and somebody asked if we had seen any movies recently. And I was it was on the tip of my tongue. I was going to be like, I watched this insane movie called Mother. And then I remembered that one of the people on the meeting with us was my pregnant coworker. And I was like,
oh my God, no, let's not watch that. Yeah.
And because no, I still remember I said, that's what it was. I said the movie Mother, and then she asked, what is it about? And I said, actually, don't watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still love the classic. Obviously, the classic media literacy thing is when people watch Starship Troopers and are like,
right.
That's so cool.
That's one of the ones that is insane to me too, because I think even saying it's not an endorsement, it feels like that's become so trite and cliche. And then I see people on social media still arguing that it's a sincere movie and no satire, and I'm like, man, maybe you still do need to make the case that it's not a that it's a satire. That feels so obvious to me, but
someone will be like, well, it's obviously a satire, and the director himself has said it's a satire. And then the response to that is, well, he didn't do a very good job of making it satirical. And I'm like, what movie did you watch?
I don't know, man. It's pretty explicit.
It's so obvious.
At the same time, I know that I can't remember who said this exactly, but I know that there's a critic who said it's actually not possible to make an anti-war movie because
that's Godard, right?
It might be
maybe if there's a few people I think who've made that argument,
but said that it's not actually possible to make an anti-war movie because there is just always going to be someone who sees violence and goes, "That's cool."
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue with that position.
They did All Quiet on the Western Front, which, and also like 1917, which both to me read as like very clear, like, hey, this shouldn't happen. This is pretty bad to just send people to die nonsensically, and yet I can say that even when I was watching them, there were parts of that movie where I was going, "Whoa, that's cool."
So cool. Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
That's why the way to do it is like Metallica's One, where it's the guy in the bed who is in a coma but awake.
Oh,
and like, you know about this?
No.
Oh yeah.
Do I look like the kind of guy who's listened to a lot of Metallica?
I was gonna say Josh is listening to this right now and screaming at his headphones. that Chris and I are just silently like, I don't know about this.
Here, basically, what it is. I mean, you can look it up, but basically, it's the story of this guy who is injured in a war and is trapped in his own body and like can't speak.
So he's got like locked-in syndrome type situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
But and then I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, it's been so long. My Metallica phase was in high school, and I listened to everything that they did, but it's now been so long. I'm pretty sure he like starts to move his finger or maybe his head in Morse code, saying just like "kill me." Like,
oh jeez.
Yeah, that's the anti-war media, because there's nothing about that is, wow, that was cool. It's just, holy fuck, that's the most horrifying thing I've ever seen.
That guy wants to die.
Yeah.
Because of the thing we made him do.
Yeah. And then it makes me think of like Catherine Bigelow movies. And
like Hurt Locker, Zero Dark 30, hell, even Point Break. Like Point Break makes crime look cool.
I know people like Catherine Bigelow. I'm not about those movies.
I need to explore more with Catherine Bigelow, because I think I'd be more generous to her. But I watched House of Dynamite, and
that's the one about
the nuclear war one.
Okay,
and here's the deal. You said she's good at making crime look good or war look good. She's not very good at making nuclear war very cool, which is unfortunate, because that's a 2.5 hour movie.
Maybe it's for the best that she didn't make nuclear war look cool.
No,
make us all movie, less want to have it happen less.
Dude, that movie's so bad. I feel mean about that, because a lot of people liked it, but I really hated it. And it's like got a great opening 40 minutes. And then after that 40 minutes, it rewinds and plays the same thing over again from a different perspective. And then it rewinds and plays the same thing from another perspective. Is it trying
to like Rashomon it, or no?
Yeah, a little bit, except it doesn't really add that much each time. It personally doesn't feel like it adds a lot. And then it doesn't really, and then it doesn't show whether they end up launching a retaliatory strike or not at the end. It like vaguely implies they do, but it just like cuts to black, and it's like in a different movie that might have been like a really provocative ending, but in this movie it's like, oh, you wasted my time. Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah. You know, on the topic of art about nuclear war, I don't know about art, but there's is it called Paradise? I think that's what it's called. It's that one with Sterling K. Brown. Where he plays a Secret Service agent. I think it's on Apple. But basically, like, some nukes get launched. It's kind of unclear exactly as to why. There's sort of like tensions dissolve and a whole bunch of nukes get launched, and they are able to evacuate the president and a select few other people. Oh no, wait, there was also some sort of weird ice melting thing going on, I think, in that. Anyway. All of that is to say that there is a nuclear, apocalypse that happens, and it looks shitty.
Yeah, not fun.
It seems there's one specific episode about like the day that everything goes down, and it is a very tense episode, and really made me feel like, wow, I really don't want that to happen in my life. And also, I will say, so it's James Marsden, I believe, is playing the president, and he does not fire nukes, which is cool.
Good for
him. I think unlikely.
Have you ever seen The War Game? Not there's an 80s movie called War Game. I'm not referring to that one. It's The War Game. Right. It's a Peter Watkins movie.
No, I don't think I have.
Oh man. I gotta get you. Have you seen any Peter Watkins stuff? I feel like I need to force Peter Watkins into a fruitless thing. We did that Punishment Park episode a few months back.
Okay.
That was him. One of his first like breakout movies is a like kind of mockumentary that he got commissioned to make by the BBC about what nuclear war would be like. And
so is this like Threads? Basically, or
it's from the 60s, so it's not as graphic or brutal as Threads, but it's kind of a similar thing. It's only like an hour long, and they BBC ended up not showing it because it was well, what they said was it was too shocking and too upsetting, but what it really was is it was too political, because what he does is he goes back and forth between these horrifying shots of like what's happening in like London or whatever if a bomb drops, and then cuts to like a quote from like, you know, a Catholic official saying like, oh, God's okay with nuclear weapons, or like cuts to like, you know, a presidential statement like, look, life would continue if a nuclear bomb was dropped. It's pretty brutal. Highly recommend. Okay.
Yeah, that's not one that I know of. Jake, you were going to say something about like a really good depiction of nuclear war as well.
I was going to make a joke and say Terminator 2, but or whichever it is where Skynet goes online. But
and Linda Hamilton explodes on a fence.
Yeah. The nuclear thing does make me think. So this is going to meld the cold open with the discussion of Chernobyl.
I'm excited to see how this happens.
In the Malt Couture podcast, they talked about Chernobyl for a good portion of one of the episodes, and one of the guys was like, "That was the stupidest show I've ever seen." They literally got in a helicopter and went, "Fly over the reactor." And so I'll just randomly be like with friends or my girlfriend or something, and I'll just go fly over the reactor.
Fly over the reactor, folks.
Which is something I'm pretty sure they do in the show. If I recall correctly.
I thought they specifically said don't do it, and then one of them does, and it falls out of the sky.
Okay, all right.
Which is not actually completely like historically accurate. Like that's not why that helicopter crashed, but it makes for a cooler shot.
But yeah, fly over the reactor is one of my.
That's good.
It's like a very classic thing.
Media literacy, pretty bad in this country.
We're not.
It's pretty bad. Kind of feel like I don't know.
Bad.
America bad. Yeah.
Has it ever been good?
I think yes and no. Like there's a certain degree in which there's just like a level of stupidity that's always existed in this country, but I do think things have gotten worse. And I know that's like a position people push back on lately, where they kind of try to be like, oh no, it's that everyone's got a platform now, and so you hear more stupid opinions than you used to, and that might be true to a certain extent. But I do know that like rereading Amusing Ourselves to Death, you know, like if Neil Postman's right anyway, like general audiences were able to go and listen to like a 4-hour debate where people read pages out loud. You know what I mean? Like just
instead of just shouting at each other.
Yeah, like that was like possible at one point. Like I do think we as a culture have gotten a lot worse at like digesting media, or like, I don't know. And I think if you look at the movies of the 70s and 80s, like there's just, it's a lot more clear that a lot more directors were reading books and thinking about stuff, and general audiences seemed capable of like digesting complex plots.
Yeah, like these were like hits, some of the biggest movies of the years and of the decade, and have like just very like this is maybe a cover for something, but everyone kind of understood what it was a cover for.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, like a mid-budget drama is treated now like that's a smart person movie. And that was just like, that was like the big movies, So I do think people have gotten dumber on some level. Not like maybe as apocalyptic as people act. I don't know though. I've started to really think that the literacy crisis in this country has gotten pretty bad based off my experience with customers at work. And I know that sounds like a joke, but I think it's true. I think I see it.
Yeah, there was, it's paywalled, so I couldn't read the whole thing. I could only read like a précis. But apparently literacy in the country, as far as they could measure it, dropped about 3% every year from 2003 to 2023.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because they changed how they were teaching it, right?
Well, sort of, but also like just like in general, like people they just like don't read anymore. Or if they do read, they read like on a phone, and it gives them like 3 sentences, and that's it. And there's no way to like sit there and ponder,
pages thematics.
Of a thing. Yeah, and one also just like no way to like ponder like, hey, is there like an underlying theme that I could like pull out of this? But like, yeah, like genuinely like 3% every year of like just general lost literacy and like ability to comprehend what a piece of text is telling you and asking you to understand. And that is just
now I do want to throw this out. I do want to throw this out as a pushback. Writing is unfortunately like painting, where the creations of the painter have the attitude of life, and yet if you ask them a question, they preserve a solemn silence. And the same may be said of speeches. You would imagine that they had intelligence, but if you want to know anything and put a question to one of them, the speakers always give one unvarying answer. And when they have been once written down, they are tumbled about anywhere among those who may or may not understand them, and know not to whom they should reply, to whom not. And if they are maltreated or abused, they have no parent to protect them, and they cannot protect or defend themselves. These thoughts about the written word are from Socrates.
Sure. Now here's I have a pushback to this because this is the thing people push on Neil Postman and stuff like that a bunch.
Socrates was the original death of the author.
Well, there was kind of like a thing, like people like to break out like, oh, Socrates was against the written word, and yet we accepted that and whatever, kind of as a pushback to like Neil Postman's kind of thing about how bad it is that we're losing literacy for a visual society. And here's the counterpoint to this. Socrates was correct. I'm not saying it wasn't a worthy trade-off, but he was correct because
it made memory worse.
You can look at how memory works in oral traditions versus how it works in a society based around written words.
I agree, but like you said, you're not saying it's not a worthy trade-off.
I don't know if a visual medium is a worthy trade-off to the written word.
I'm just saying I'm hesitant to be like, I'm always hesitant to do a kids these days type thing.
That's fair.
Now, I do think the ability to comprehend the meaning of a text, like, it is a little bit different, right?
Right.
Because it just like Socrates' thing was specifically about memory and the ability to memorize all this stuff and think about it. Now, he did have questions about whether you were actually learning if you were reading or if you were just compiling a bunch of little factoids. But, it seems like the issue isn't with, people's memories are getting worse because they can just Google whatever they want.
No.
It's that their actual ability to look at a thing and think about the deeper meaning of it, other than just, wow, that was cool. Other than just like McIntyre style emoting.
Yeah.
About, what effect a piece of media had on you. It seems like that has eroded.
Yeah. Well, I think that is related to a lack of literacy, because I do think like the ability to sustain a long ongoing rational thought that coheres a lot of different thoughts together kind of comes from the written word in a little bit.
I mean, Socrates would disagree. But...
I know he would. I know, but that was 2,000, 3,000 years ago, whatever. But
I also push back against the idea that they were obviously living in completely different cultural paradigms in a universe of their own, but they were also still humans.
Right. Yeah.
And
I'm not saying humans. They're completely unable, but I do think there's a certain type of analysis or sustained train of thought about a single thing for several pages that reading implies you are capable of doing. And I think a lot of the shifts we've had over centuries and centuries now are the result of more and more people being able to be literate. And then that's a gift that we're kind of getting rid of. And I don't know if we have a good way to replace it. Also, I do want to push back on it being a kids these days kind of thing, because I'm not saying it's a kids these days thinking. I think the whole society is going this way on account of no one, because I don't think middle-aged people are reading also.
That's very true.
And I think some of the most illiterate people I seem to be around are very often in middle age. And
that's very true.
I'm going to give this customer service example. So I have taken a picture. Unfortunately, I can't show this because I don't want to dox myself to people. So I can't show this in a visual way, but you guys can see this. Taking a picture of the box office. Now, if you recall, I was saying that if the box office person isn't there, you have to go and buy tickets from the bar, right? Okay. This is a picture of the box office when there's no box office person. All right. Now, what do you guys do? Literate adults? Where do your eyes go?
Ask the stormtrooper.
To the bar.
Yes, there is a giant sign. Well, yes, there's a giant stormtrooper. So Jake's asking the stormtrooper. There's a giant sign in front of the POS system that says, need tickets? Head to the bar. Got tickets? Head to your seat. Now, I am not exaggerating when I say 9 out of 10 customers who walk over to this box office stand there and stand there and stand there until they're late to their movie. That's what I mean by the literacy in the country. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's really bad, right?
It is bad. It is bad. I'm also going to, as someone who did has worked in wayfinding and user experience and stuff like that. I think you could improve the signage to make it.
Now that I totally agree. There was a different sign at one point, and the previous sign a few months back had about the entire chunk there that says "need tickets, head to the bar" was just tickets ? And then right below that was "head to the bar" in giant font.
Okay. Yeah.
I think arrows would be
I also
good.
I also think more signs in different places. No. I'm being serious about this because this is a real user experience thing where it's about the statistical likelihood of people's eyes hitting that language. And how people move through a space. And of course, architects, developers, they don't give a fuck about how people actually move through a space. So it's kind of up to businesses to post hoc create these wayfinding systems. And while it seems dumb that people aren't reading that sign, I do kind of give people the benefit of the doubt because I have seen how easy it is for people to miss extremely obvious things, and I miss a lot of obvious things and things like that. So I am gonna have to. I feel like I'm being contrarian, but I do have to hold it down for the people who are a little confused. Now, I will say, standing there until you're late for your movie is insane.
Yeah, no, because it's not crazy. For a little bit being confused. It's long periods of time. In fact, getting so mad that then you do walk up to the bar and say, "Can we get someone over there to help us?"
And you're like,
and I have to hold back and be like, the sign you're standing next to.
Yeah, that is bad.
I understand. You're probably right. There's a degree that it's a design thing. I've had so much customer service stuff like this, and
look, I hate customers. I think customers are the worst. They don't know what they want. They don't know where they are half the time. And that it's annoying, but it's part of the built environment is not made for people. So
yeah, that's true.
Strangely, since it was built by people.
Yeah.
But so part of a thing that I do, because I worked in service for so long, is when I enter a new space, I take a moment to look around and see what it looks like I need to do, instead of just blithely walking through places.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah,
that's exactly. So weird. How can you not? I mean, I guess I have worked a service job, so it's obvious to me when I walk in. I'm like, damn, these people have probably had another shitty day, standing on their feet for 8 hours, right? So, and dealing with people's bullshit. So let me do everything I can to make it as easy as possible for them and not be the annoying person. And some people just don't have that mindset. Some people are like, I'm here to be served.
Well, yeah.
That's a big part of this too. Not to move away too far from the literacy thing. I mean, this is just a gripe I have in my personal daily life, but it has in my head connected to a sense that I see people struggle to read signs around me a lot, and I fear there's a degree of that is a literacy crisis issue. And I don't think it's that they're incapable of reading it. What I think is there's a general sense of exhaustion when you're faced with a bunch of words and you're like, I'm not reading that shit.
Well,
I think
that's being out of practice. Happy for you though, or sorry it happened.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah. Where it's you think about old magazine ads where half of the page is
reading. Yeah.
And
the ad looks like a Dr. Bonner's fucking bottle.
Yeah. I don't know. Is it just an overload? So I haven't read Amusing Ourselves to Death. Is the idea that there's just this overload of information beyond our capability to process?
And that the visual medium of TV, which you can by extension apply to social media, because it was written in the 80s, is fragmented consistently. So you're not holding on to the same train of thought for long periods of time. That's a big part of it. Is a famous chapter in Amusing Ourselves to Death called Now This, talking about how much emotional whiplash TV news gives people. Because it's oh, now there's this war crime happening elsewhere. Now there's this local police department did a fundraiser with puppies. You know what I mean? That's the kind of shit that
damages your brain. And then it throws to commercials.
And they audio blast, so they're 20 decibels higher than the.
And they're a complete tone shift. They're a complete tone shift from whatever content you were just watching.
And then social media is just this on steroids, right? Where it's my social media feed is dead Palestinian children and then a funny joke. It's so bad for your brain. I think.
What's the I can't remember the name of the book, but there's some guy who talks about he kind of puts it onto cities, which I don't necessarily agree with, but I kind of see where he's coming from. He talks about cities and social media and stuff like that, and how our nervous system isn't really built to take that much stimuli. And it eventually starts to crystallize your synapses and shit. So eventually you start to become numb to all this shit, and you do get just exhausted. You start to zombify, essentially.
There's an article from the Before Times, by Michelle Goldberg, who in general not a person that I am running around to recommend people read, but I think she really nailed this one. And the headline for it is just, we're not supposed to know this much about each other.
Yeah.
And I really I don't need to know a lot of things. There's just a lot of stuff I don't need to know about you.
Yeah, I mean, we're all used to being both the combination of overstimulated and then also being public individuals constantly. We think of ourselves as public figures, even if we're not. on some level or another.
I went through, and I still have an Instagram, so that my wife can send me videos that she thinks I'll like. But I went through and just completely deleted all of my post history the other day. I was just like, no, I don't want anyone to see any of this shit.
Yeah. I think it's probably bad, but I don't know the solution to it.
Right.
Cat's out of the box. What's
that other line? Person read Don't Read the Torment Nexus and decided to create the Torment Nexus.
Right.
Like, what?
I think on a policy level, there's a lot that could be done on social media to make it not as bad as it currently is. We have this kind of algorithmic design. It's more about not a feed of things that you want to follow, but the platform pushing things onto you specifically, especially since TikTok. So there's a degree
thing though. You have free choice in the marketplace.
That's right.
The fact that you are failing to curate your algorithm properly.
That's right.
And control your intake of this stuff is a moral failing on your part.
Well, actually, this kind of fits you're saying that jokingly, but there's a degree what I think is going on there is our economy is increasingly built on addiction models. And so we've just carried the same moralism we have toward addicts, toward just the general public about everything, and I'm someone with an addictive personality. The way our society has evolved in the last couple decades is terrible for my brain. I am avidly not letting myself touch sports betting for this reason, because I would spend all my money. What I mean? I know.
No, it's not great.
The other thing that always really bugs me is this is set up to be addictive and repeating, and it's just giving us a little dopamine hit all the time. But then sometimes you'll see something you don't like, and you'll just you'll say because the only thing you can do is either downvote or comment on it in hopes that the algorithm will understand that you don't like it. Except most people don't quite realize that commenting on it makes the algorithm push more of that to you, because engagement's engagement. That's that's all the algorithm cares about. But people will be like, why the fuck am I seeing this? And then there'll be some smart ass being like, and yet you are here commenting on it. And I always want to punch those people in the head. Most people don't know how an algorithm works. They don't understand that interacting with it in any way incentivizes the algorithm to push more content on.
Right. Well, yeah, because
then that's how people end up fucking radicalizing themselves.
Right.
Oh,
because we're all rats in a giant box pressing buttons, and the treats keep coming, and they keep coming.
We're pressing the pain button to get the treat.
That's true. Yeah.
I will say,
shock me a little. I want my candy.
However, the funny outcome of this is whenever people are like, can you believe all of this softcore porn they're putting on social media these days?
And it's wow, you're telling on yourself,
it's
buddy.
My brother in Christ, you curate the algorithm.
Right. Anytime they'll post something and it's an ad for some sort of gay thing, and they're like, I can't believe this beer. And I was like, oh man, dude, I know you were searching for
is
that.
Advertising to me.
Yeah.
The only counterpoint I will make to this is, I don't believe we should live in a society where if you are weak and you fall for one thirst trap, your entire feed becomes that.
Oh, that's true. That's fair.
That seems like a bad way to do things. You should.
No, that's very fair. That's very fair.
There is also a certain extent now, and they used to do this by just choosing their demographics for advertising on TV. They still do it. If you watch an NFL game right now, everything's boner pills and beer.
Yeah. I get so
gold,
many boner pills
and gold.
Yeah. It's the same thing if you watch if you're watching racing, the advertisers have fairly well deduced likely to be a man, and so it's just all the advertising is dude stuff, and it's but they do that with the algorithm too. So they know either because my information has been sold to them by the website, or they can just tell based on, because they're smart and based on like, what places I go to on the app or whatever. They're like, oh, this is a male. So yeah, let's do some boner pills. And again, I'm just like, I've never searched for one of those.
Well, I like
half of my feed is like ads for hymns, which is like hair loss. Like hair loss. It's like I have so much hair.
I don't have hair loss issues. I think that's so funny too, because I think you like hymns is such a funny example of this too, because when I was growing up, the like boner pill ads were like Viagra or whatever, and now they're like targeting, like they're trying to get like 20s and 30s folks.
Yeah,
and I like
it's
that
not
both
Cialis where you're both like lounging in a tub watching the sunset.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like it's so funny that we've got two different types of boner pills that are probably functionally the same thing. They do the same thing, but you've got the one that's marketed to us that's like the cool hip one. And then you've got the like to a couple in a bathtub for like the 50 plus boner pills.
Yeah. And again, the hair loss thing, it's just like, when have I ever searched for hair treatment? Like, I so much hair, I don't need this.
I'm so sorry to interrupt this. I'm just gonna see. Can y'all see this little thing right here?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Shit. You can't really.
Oh, there it is. Yep.
There it
Inauguration.
is.
Inauguration.
Cool. Okay. But wait.
What's the year on that one?
Gets better.
Oh,
President George W. Bush.
Wait.
Vice President Dick Cheney.
This is my girlfriend found this in her dad's house. Like in storage.
It's a dancing bear to celebrate the inauguration of George W. Bush.
It's just like a little teddy bear.
Is it like a fucking, what are those? The Thai, the pets, the beanie babies. There you go.
Beanie Baby.
I got that.
It looks like a knockoff Beanie Baby.
Okay.
That feels very George W. Bush. That feels very 2001.
This is reminding me of the fact that I have a Texas Rangers Little League cap signed by George W. Bush.
And, oh my God. Is it from when he was like an owner, or is it like post that?
Yeah. I think he was. Okay. I think he was when he was part owner, and I think we were like family friends with the Ryans, like Nolan Ryan.
Oh.
What?
And yeah,
that's cool.
And he like introduced my mom to Laura Bush, who gave her the Little League cap. And then it was returned with a signature from George W. Bush. So I bet you guys don't have the signature of a war criminal.
I
do not. You're right.
I sure don't.
I need to find that hat and see.
Jake is canceled now.
See what I can sell it for. Yeah, me being like 9 years old, getting the president's signature. This guy must have supported the war in Iran.
Yeah. You were a big fan. You were.
Yeah. But,
oh man. Okay, so here, actually, I think this would be a good way to segue into talking a little bit about sports.
Let's land this plane with some sports. Yeah, to kind of purge.
Big news in sports. Big news in sports.
And that news is
that I kind of wish Nate was on to talk about this, but
bust his balls.
Well, not necessarily, because Nate and I support the same soccer team. Manchester United have sacked Ruben Amorim.
Oh yeah.
It comes after a press conference where he basically was just like, the board is fucking me over, but I'm gonna stay through my contract. And unless they want to fire me, I'm just going to keep doing my job. And they're not giving me the signings that I want. But
which is manifestly true.
That is true. It's very true. It's very true. But he went off, and then the next day he was gone. And
board heard that and was like, bet.
And the club released a statement that was like basically saying that it was due to the results that he was getting, and basically trying to say that it wasn't at all about like the relationship between him and the board. And it's like, well, you fired him immediately after a press conference where he went off on y'all. And look, here's the thing. He's a really charismatic guy. He did he did get saddled with a really shitty squad, but he also had by far the worst win percentage of any Manchester United manager during the Premier League. Like his win percentage was like 36%, and the next highest was like 51. So you can't, or the next lowest was 51%. So at some point, it's just, you can make all the excuses you want. That's really bad.
That's pretty bad, dude.
It's really bad. And I wanted it to work so bad. Yeah,
after we got rid of, what's his
Ten Hag.
Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Who it turns out, I guess, was trying to, did we talk about this? How he was trying to like get, he got a new job at Bayer Leverkusen.
Oh my God, he got fired from that within like weeks.
Yeah. He was there for like 2 weeks, and they were like, get the fuck out. Because apparently he had been trying to only sign players that were like with his agency that he was a part of, which was also something that he was doing at Manchester United.
Awesome.
Like people with like close connections to him and his agency is who he was focused on signing. So very funny. The guy is just not the best. But anyway, Ruben Amorim, a long tenure, and by long I mean it was only like a year and a half. Yeah, 14 months. Not the greatest tenure, but beat Liverpool away, beat Manchester City away.
Could have been worse.
I would like to, in my way of like, I guess being a little bit contrarian, and then also relate it to something sort of MLS related. It's also Scottish football, but I think that it's nuts to hire a manager who has a distinct style of play, and then not give him players that will work for that. Either hire a manager that has a flexible style of play, and then work with them to just sort of get the best collection of talent you can and trust the manager to bodge it together and figure something out, or get the right parts for the puzzle. Like if he needs square pegs, stop giving him round ones. Give him squares.
Right. Yeah.
No, I hear that. I the thing is, he got two extremely good forwards. One very promising young forward, a somewhat promising young wingback, and like the club doesn't actually have the club has so much debt that it actually doesn't have a lot of liquid cash to like liquid assets to actually do stuff with in the transfer market.
They have to sell to be able to buy, which is very weird for them to be in.
Yeah. And like I obviously think that Ineos should have done more to back him. I'm not a big fan of Ineos, especially after all the employee cuts and stuff like that. Like your classic private equity, creative destruction bullshit.
Oh, we all knew that was always coming.
Yeah. So I do obviously think they should have backed him more. I just don't think that I don't think it's one or the other. I think that it was a mix of him not being backed, but also him just kind of being out of his depth. He was reported as like after his first game, which I think was against Ipswich, it was a draw. He was reported as saying, "Hey, y'all didn't tell me that like every Premier League team is like good," and which not a great start. I think he was just always a little bit blindsided by it, and I just don't think any manager is going to ever get enough time to build this kind of system. You get in and you get results, and unfortunately, that's the modern manager, right?
Well, especially at a big club like United.
Well, you're not going to have. I mean, even back in the day when Sir Alex started, he was terrible for his first few years.
He was about to get fired, and then they won the FA Cup.
Yeah, and they're not going to have that kind of patience anymore. Like these days, you have to win, and you have to win now, and if your system isn't doing it, you got to change the system. I'm sorry. And look, I can't stress enough how bad I wanted this to work. I loved Ruben Amorim, and I thought the 3-4-3 was really cool. I thought it was like this sort of natural evolution, but also natural evolution of soccer, but also a sort of like blast from the past, because it looks very much like 3-4-2, like old school soccer formations. With like your halfback and your fullback, and like back when there were these kind of old school I mean, it was actually more like a 3-3-4 back in the day, but
before the pyramid was inverted.
Before, inverting the pyramid. But was it 2-3-5? I can't remember. Anyway, I thought it was actually like a very interesting attempt to meld those things together, and it didn't work. And maybe it didn't work because he didn't get the players, but you're not always going to get the players you want, and you gotta make do. And
I broadly speaking, I agree with you. I think that it's I think though that it is really annoying to see. So the other example I was going to say is Wilfred Nancy up in Scotland with Celtic. Now he did have a very bad record. 1-2 lost 6. That's not good for a team of Celtic's caliber.
That's really
That's not good. However, the board of Celtic should have known that Wilfred Nancy has a very, very specific tactical style, and that he is going to play that style, even if he is trying to fit square pegs into round holes, unfortunately. So they either should have just not offered him the job in the first place, or they should have been patient enough with him to like get through the season. It's probably not going to be great. You're probably not going to win the league, but hey, spend the summer trying to get players that fit Nancy's system. And at the same time, Wilfred Nancy should have probably been smart enough to look at that as a poison chalice and to go, you know what? I think I'm good in Columbus.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'm good staying in Columbus and waiting to see how this pans out, and waiting to see if there is another club that has a setup that I can walk into and implement my preferred style of play on. Both sides probably should have realized that it wasn't going to work, and maybe Amorim should have been like that with United as well. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, once again, I think every part of the club screwed up. The players let him down. He was out of his depth. The board wasn't backing him. The management was not able to form a good relationship with him. And unfortunately, it's much easier to change a manager than, although technically he was the head coach. He said in his last press conference, he was like, I came to be the manager, not the head coach. And I was like, well, that's interesting, because I specifically remember the press release when you were announced as the head coach. But but anyway, it's much easier to get rid of to replace one guy than it is to replace a whole team of players or a whole back room, or back office and like that kind of stuff. So, so it goes. We'll see who they get next. Darren Fletcher is
apparently the caretaker right now.
Is the caretaker for right now. Famously like almost died, and
oh wow,
is that him?
He like got super sick and like almost died or something like that, and came back and was like an underrated, very good player for Manchester United.
Was it like Crohn's disease or something like that?
It was some kind of crazy sickness. What did Darren Fletcher have? Oh, sorry. He didn't almost die. He had to have surgery to remove his large intestine to manage his ulcerative colitis.
There we go.
Sucks.
But came back from that and kept playing Premier League football for what was one of the best teams there
in Europe.
There was at the time in Europe. Yeah.
I wanted to, if we're still, keep talking sports here, I wanted to just bemoan the current state of college football and NIL and all of that stuff. I know, sucks. I know that the kids should be getting paid. I don't mind that at all. But so Iowa State has, I think, fewer than 20 players on the roster right now. Mm-hmm. And they're allowed to have, like, I think it's like in the 80s. There are fewer than 20 because Matt Campbell quit and went to Penn State and took basically the whole team and the coaching staff with him. Because the college football playoff has made it easier for a team like Penn State because of all of the, conference consolidation and rejiggering and whatever. It's easier for a team like Penn State to get into the college football playoff than it is for a team like Iowa State too, because a Big Ten team is almost always going to get the benefit of the doubt over a Big 12 team. And Campbell took the bag, and I can't blame him. He's the best coach Iowa State's ever had. I don't really blame him for taking it. But all of the kids also followed him because Penn State can pay more than Iowa State can. And that sucks. So next year, after this year having a season where Iowa State fans, the season ended and we were all kind of like, hey man, this team could be pretty good next year. Now it's like, oh, we're going to suck.
Yeah.
This is going to be terrible next year.
Do you think they should have a salary cap?
Something like that. Salary cap, or like just like actual contracts for the players.
Contracts,
and if the players like want to change teams, somebody needs to pay that contract off. Either the player or the buying team, essentially, or you can do trades, or whatever. Like, listen, it's already a pro sport. Just turn it into an actual fucking pro sport at this point.
Yeah.
Like seriously. Old Englishmen always like to say like, "Oh, game's gone" whenever they see
someone gets a red card for a 2-foot studs
for
tackle,
attempted murder.
And they're
game's gone.
Game's gone.
Yeah, but genuinely, when it comes to college football in particular, but even basketball to a certain extent, we just need to like throw our hands up and be like, yeah, game's gone. Like this is not actual college sport anymore. This is pro sports. Treat it and regulate it like it's pro sport now.
Yeah, it really should be, I don't know, seen as like, I don't know, like the Division 2 with NFL being Division 1 or you know what I mean? Like it's a pro, right?
Oh my God, what if you got
the minor
relegated?
Leagues.
What if you got relegated into college football and you had to take classes?
Oh, that would be so cool.
That would actually though be a really great way to get a bunch of college kids like literally murdered, because even the worst NFL team is better than the best college team.
That's
all of those are grown ass men who are like every single one of the guys on the Raiders was like the best player for Bama.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I
like those poor children would die.
Well, before we move away from college, who do you think's gonna win the championship? Who do you think's gonna?
Who's in it? I haven't even.
Let's see.
So it's Oregon and Indiana on one side, and it's Ole Miss and I forget who the fourth team is.
Not Ohio State.
Oh, it's Miami. It's Ole Miss in Miami.
No, yeah, Miami, because they beat Ohio State.
They beat Ohio State. That was so
which is so funny.
Awesome.
So funny, dude. I have a coworker that's a 49ers fan and an Ohio State fan, and I like to terrorize him at work.
Oh boy. Don't be mean to Brock Purdy though.
No, I'm fine with that. But I'm not being mean to Brock. I love Brock. But no, I just like to whenever he's like watching a 49ers game, just be like cheer for whatever team is like they're playing against, just to get under his skin.
Fair enough.
And I came into the kitchen. He works in the kitchen. I came into the kitchen right after oh God, who was it? Right after? No, the game hadn't happened yet, but before they were about to play for the Seahawks against the Seahawks, which by the way, they lost against the Seahawks. So look at that.
Yep.
But I just walked in and was like, hey, go Seahawks, huh? And he's like, shut up, man. You're not even funny. He's like, man. And then I came back to the kitchen a second time and he's like, you're not funny. I don't want to hear it. And I said, I was not going to say anything about the 49ers. And then I let a long pause set and I went, how about Miami, huh? He's like, so you're not even funny, dude. You're not even funny.
That's so mean.
Man. Anyway, I'm kind of rooting for Seahawks, though, by the way, at this point now, since I can't root for Vikings, because it's got Darnold. I like Darnold.
So for the college football playoff, I think I would honestly most prefer to see Indiana win, just because literally until the middle of this season, Indiana football had the worst winning percentage of any college football team ever.
That is cool.
Until the middle of this season, they were the historically worst team ever. And I would love to see them win it just because that's funny.
No, you know what? You sold me. I when I was looking at the playoffs, I was like, I have no investment in any of these teams. I don't know who to root for. Yeah, Indiana. That's the move.
And also, I'm just glad that Bama got its ass kicked, because 3-loss Bama had no business being in the playoffs in the first place. So it was nice to see Bama lose.
I feel like Texas should have been in. Like, if you look at some of those teams that lost, like, I don't know.
I've been like waging,
and then Texas just shat all over
Michigan, which Michigan. Awesome. Oh God. Oh, Michigan.
I know it was kind of a perfect storm for Texas. But although it is sad, a lot of Texas's players are going into the portal, but which is weird, you'd think.
I've been waging this like kind of lonely war, saying that I think that actually the playoffs should get expanded a further round to 16 teams, but then do like what the NCAA does with March Madness, and it's just auto bids for every conference, because that would give us 10 auto bids and then 6 at-larges. And like, so sure, the 2 G5 teams that were in it this year didn't do a very good job. They didn't have a great showing for themselves, but like, no one thought they were going to win the national championship anyway. Realistically, there's only like 5 teams in a given year that could like honestly make the case that like we're the best. And like, again, if you're letting 3-loss Bama in, like, so who fucking cares? Why not just get somebody from the Sun Belt in here? That's more fun. That's just more fun. We all know the winner is going to come from one of 4 conferences. Like that's just.
Well, the problem is you can't punish Bama for making it to their conference championship.
Sure, but like no power team with 3 losses really like has a claim for being one of the best teams in the country. Like they just aren't.
Regular season they only had 2 losses.
Sure.
They lost what's essentially a postseason championship game because they were
like
good enough to get there.
Yeah, but
but they were also playing a great team.
Yeah.
Like Georgia is good.
Yeah, but but also at the same time, nobody thought that Bama was actually, meanwhile, BYU got left out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and then BYU lost its championship game.
Didn't they get rolled by Tech though?
Yeah, they did, but so did Bama.
Yeah.
It's okay for Bama to not get punished for losing in their championship game, but it is okay to do that to BYU. Like, I don't.
Were they punished though? How many losses did they have?
I think BYU only had 2.
I guess now I would ask what their strength of schedule was like.
Well, they play in the Big 12, so people don't think that the Big 12 is a very good conference. That's another problem, is perception. But also, like you said, Texas had a pretty good year this year. I think they had at least as much claim to get into the playoff as Bama did, but Bama got in.
The Florida game was just unforgivable, though.
Yeah, losing to a Florida team that's that bad is.
But then again, I think Florida was decent. Like, I don't think they're like actually that bad, but I just think the quality of the conference is high. But I mean, they're not good, but they're not terrible.
Yeah, I think in general that like people overrate the strength of the SEC and the Big Ten to a certain extent. Although, and everyone like shot all over the ACC this year, and well, here's Miami in the semifinals. So like, I don't know. Here's the other thing: football is, because they can only play, so many games per season without everybody's bodies breaking down. Football is a very high variance sport, and like a very low certainty sport. It's pretty difficult to actually. It's pretty difficult to actually.
That's what makes it so compelling, I think.
Sure,
too.
But it's pretty difficult to actually be able to confidently look at a football team and go, or even players, and go, they are good or they are bad. It's just like, I don't know. Weird shit happens in football all the time. That's why baseball is like a nerd's dream, because there's so many individual actions that happen and they play so many games. You can just quantify everything to within a pretty reasonable degree of certainty in baseball.
Yeah. Yeah.
Football is just way more difficult to do that for.
Well, I think we should wrap up here, but since we didn't do any NFL, just quickly, just without any explanation, who's going to win the Super Bowl? Who's going to the Super Bowl?
Well, I don't really care who wins the Super Bowl, but
who's in it?
Who's going? You can
tell I haven't been following this at all.
I know.
I would like to see Brock Purdy win it because he went to Iowa State. So Niners to win would work for me. And beyond that, aren't the Broncos like the 1 seed? That seems like they've got a recipe to do what they did in Peyton's last year, which is have a really, really good defense and a quarterback that's just good enough. So I don't know. They could be a decent shout. I don't know enough about football, like professional football, to really be able to say anything one way or another.
I think the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's so true.
I also just want to mention, not to toot my own horn, I did win my family fantasy football league.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
So it was inevitable.
Hell yeah.
And I won it off of the back of a 40-point Bijan Robinson absolute romp.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah.
I think it's going to be Broncos Seahawks. That's my guess, based off what I've seen. But
the two old NFC, AFC West rivals, because the Seahawks used to be in the AFC and in the AFC West.
I didn't actually know that. Okay,
yes,
that's crazy.
And I did also recently see a thing where the NFC West used to be like just an extremely cursed division. It had the Niners and then like the Panthers and I can't remember, but
what the hell.
It was like insane.
Like when the SEC added Missouri.
Yeah. Or, how when the ACC added Cal and the Big Ten added fucking Oregon. Like, what in the hell?
Sure, guys. Sure.
Yes. A Coast Conference.
So, drastic subject change.
Oh, boy.
Can't wait for the next book club.
Yes. I'm pumped.
It's gonna be.
I'm having a good time reading it. It's a really, really bad thing to say about a book. I said in our discussion, it's like you're reading. He introduces a new person. And you're like, oh man, I know where this is going.
Oh, that's a shitty guy. Who has the next book?
It'll be you.
I believe Is it me?
No, it's Jake.
Oh yeah,
yours was Invention of Decolonization.
Yes.
Sick.
So yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, it's you. And then after that, it's me. And I am going to follow through on my threat to make you guys read Mouse, plus some supplemental materials.
Oh, man. Hell yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so stick around for that this year. It's coming. We are talking about Anatomy of
relatively
Fascism.
quickly.
We're actually on top of it now.
This is pretty easy to. I shouldn't say easy to read, but it's a lot less difficult to read than the other one.
It's a popular history book rather than a dense academic one. Yeah. All right. Well, cool. Do you guys want to help me read some Patreon names before we get out of here? So I have to do less editing. All right.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. All right. Well, this episode is brought to you by our lovely patrons who include Leo Zachary Dickinson.
I am once again
Philip Coetzee.
I drink corn syrup. Yum.
Vita Brava.
Avakai Brodicam.
Caleb Sutton.
Regular sized horse. Small.
Kyle Gannis.
Moss.
The worst of all possible worlds. So many possible worlds, but we got this one.
Steven, a.k.a. Spike Stonehand.
Gavin Aronson.
Joseph Gross.
Robert Heilman?
Yeah, you got it.
Nice.
Attention, Francis.
Shy.
Josiah, please. Randy Sutton.
Shit. Josh Christensen.
Caleb Butler.
Space Blaster.
Frankie Teardrop.
Martha Zumek.
Benjamin Rawls.
Eden Friedenberg.
Ian S.
James Lunt.
A. Ron.
Grouchiest Marxiest.
Rufus Truthus.
Electron Shed.
Jacob Dallas.
Kitty Sparks.
Dr. Shockmaster.
Lord said.
Dresden Burr.
And of course, Chris Barker. Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to today's episode. And excited for the new year of Fruitless. Yeah.
Slightly less excited, or at least feeling trepidatious about the new year, though.
Yeah, it's off to a rough start. I will be real.
What are you guys talking about? It's gonna be epic and based. You know what I've always said? I've always said that Idiocracy.
Oh my God!
Was a
my breath as I wish for death. Oh please, God, wake me. That I must feel, but can't look forward to reveal. Look to the time when I live, head to the truth that sticks in me, just like a wartime novelty, tied to machines that make me be.